Well, good morning, managerial communications students. This is week number 4 in our 8-week class on managerial communications business 22 here at Norco College. And this week we're going to be diving deep into the business writing aspects of this course. And so we did close our module number 1 yesterday, Sunday, March 8th, and now March 9th, we're beginning on our second module, which is going to cover the next couple of weeks, the next few weeks, next 3 weeks actually. And so we're going to be focusing now on business writing, and you're going to be getting your going to be starting to do writing assignments every week. So those writing assignments are going to be things like a memo, an email, a letter, and you're going to learn how to format those documents. You're going to learn how to write the particular type of document, whether that be negative or persuasive or routine. And then you're also going to learn about a thing called readability, which is the ability to scan or skim a business document. And that is because the business document utilizes things like headings, bullet lists, numbered lists, bold text, italicized text, etc. I'll just say this right off the bat, a business document should not all be plain text. It should not be all plain text. It should never all be one paragraph. It should be short, single-spaced paragraphs, little chunks of information with a lot of things that the eye of your reader can catch. So that's where headings, bullet lists, numbered lists, etc., all come into play. Bold text, italicized text. You should be able to look at your business document and there's bold, italics, underlines, not underlines, but bullet lists, etc., so that your reader can scan or skim the document. If it's all plain text, there's nothing for which the eye to grab, and I'll be grading on that, and that'll become a big part of what these writing assignments will have to them. So make sure you follow that, and I'll be doing a Zoom session on this coming up here later this week. So I'll let you know about that here in just a few moments. So we're going to be focusing this week on planning and drafting and revisiting. So it's actually 3 chapters that you're going to be covering, and it really deals with every aspect of a business document. So that's what we'll be looking at. Let me go ahead and look at where we're at in our class online. So I'm going to share that. So here we are. And I'm going to scroll down again. We're starting module 2 today on the 9th. So I'm going to grab that and click that, and now that brings us to this week's work. So again, I do have a Zoom session this Thursday at 2 p.m. It's going to be during my office hours, and you can join me at 2 p.m. I'm going to go over business writing in general. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to be looking for in all of the business documents that you'll be creating. I'll give you some examples of what it looks like to have a document that is readable and scannable, and what a business document should look like. And so we'll be covering all that. I'll also be doing your next discussion post, which starts today, and that is your do's and don'ts of business writing. So I'll be going over that as well in this Zoom session. So I really kind of get you set up to be successful in your business writing assignments, as well as help you get started on that do's and don'ts of business presentations, which I'll show you in just a moment. So that's what you're going to be doing. I do have a teaching demo here on a memo, because a memo is what you're going to be creating. So you can read through that PowerPoint presentation and just read it. You'll get a real good idea of what a memo should look like, because you're also going to be graded on how you format your document. You need to make sure you format it like a memo. There's plenty of examples in your book. So just look through your book, look for examples of a memo. It's actually in the section of the book that talks about a memo. There's a sample right there. I also give you this teaching demo. I have another one right here, how to format a memo. And then here is the Zoom session from an earlier course. I'm going to be replacing that. I'll leave it there for now, but I'm going to be replacing that with the one I'll be doing on Thursday. So right now, though, it's from last year, and you can watch that if you want to get a head start. That is the Zoom session. Then you have a check-in assignment on week number 4. So you're going to, again, be looking at 3 chapters. I think there's 6 questions. I'm directing you to things that are most important in the chapter. Make sure you include the question and the page number of where you found your answer in order to get credit. There's a quiz on those chapters as well, and you can take that up to 3 times, worth 20 points. Then you have your first writing assignment right here. This is the memo to the CEO. So this is what it's worth 50 points. Keep that in mind. That's worth five quizzes. That's a lot of points. So do not well, not five quizzes, two quizzes and three check-in assignments. So it's worth a lot of points. So you want to put a lot of effort and energy into this memo. Make sure it's formatted like a memo. Make sure that it uses in this case it's just going to be a routine memo. So it's not a negative or anything like that, but you want to make sure that you understand business writing, what to do, how it should read, how it should flow, sentence structure, and you'll be learning about that in the chapters, and then of course making it very readable and scannable. And that's kind of what we'll be focused on. But I'll go over this a lot more in detail in our business writing Zoom session on Thursday. So join me for that. Again, it's already here in this one if you want to watch that before Thursday. If that's your schedule works better, watch that one. But we'll be actually going over it in person online in Zoom on Thursday. And then you have your second discussion post. That's where you're going to be doing the do's and don'ts of business documents. You have 3 weeks to do this. So you want to make your initial list this week. You want to comment on other students' lists the next week. And then the final week, you want to come up with your final list. Now, again, in that Zoom session, I'll be giving you the final list. So you can certainly copy it from that Zoom session and submit that as your final list. But make sure you do 3 submittals. One is your initial submittal, even if it's the same as the one I give you, I don't care. Then your submittal commenting on 2 students' submissions or lists, and then submitting your final list. And I'll be going over that again in a lot more detail in our Zoom session on Thursday. So have a great week number 4. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and you can meet me during my office hours. You can find where when that is on the front page of our class here in Canvas. On the home page, just click the office hours link. You can meet with me in Zoom. You can set up an appointment with me if you want to, or you can meet with me in my office. So have a great week, and you will see me all on another video next week as we talk about week number 5. Until then, have a great one.